Hello and welcome to Comrade of Cthulhu. Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah.
That works.
We've never had a discussion on naming, so I'm not going to
That's what I
implicate
that's
myself.
what I that's what I named the episode last time, I think.
Yeah.
We are our intrepid investigators are back for another go around. This has all been a useful experiment for me in terms of learning how to rein myself in with like how I write adventures and stuff, and realizing, this was supposed to be like one, maybe two things. Like I'm thinking this goes for at least two more, including this one, because I always have to check myself with your guys' pacing, right?
You can
And
never.
it's
That's the one thing as a DM, you can never anticipate your players. You can be like, I'm going to meticulously lay out all of these like perfect puzzles, and then your player's going to be like, I'm a barbarian. I'm going to go through the wall. And you'd be like, well, I guess make a strength check against the wall. He's like, well, I rolled a 28. Okay, well,
I
the
guess you're
wall
going
is
through the wall.
so that
the
wall is
wall
paper
has a hole
mache.
in it now.
But yeah, last time on Comrade of Cthulhu, we saw our unlikely band of investigators come together to uncover a
I'd like to point
nefarious.
out that I am not like this is not voluntary on my part in any way. I have been
Along for
abducted
the
out of my
ride.
moonshining business to be fucking running these people around after getting beat up in their basement. Like,
Yeah, but now you yourself have uncovered the seedy underbelly of the ruling elite of this town that seems to give truth to every far-fetched and mythical story that your great grandmammy told you,
Your
back in the
Mimo.
day, like while you were sitting on her knee on the porch in the bayou.
you know why it was Grandmammy and not Grandpappy? Grandpappy was also an early moonshiner, except
So
he blew
he
his still up.
So he went blind, then he
Yep.
kept going, and
Yeah.
lit the wrong fuel source, and kaboom.
They say he invented redneck safety regulations.
Which follows like what precepts of do it smell right, do it taste right.
This-
Those are
uh,
fundamental precepts that, one must live by.
Yeah.
Do it sound right is another one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, how
You
the show
walking
was
up to the
founded.
sill and it whistling? Maybe you shouldn't be walking up the sill.
So he added that final precept like right at the end.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. There's a posthumous
Yeah,
precept.
it's called Pappy's Law.
Yeah.
On his
uh
gravestone, it just says Pappy says "fuck you."
so at the tail end of our last episode, we saw the following along the some suspicious activity of one of the local bosses, a one Joseph Grimsby, the local textile magnate who runs the series of sweatshops that Mike's character Gunther is the only non-child laborer at.
Was just
Um,
a large
Non-child in
bed.
body.
so yeah, you guys followed him into I believe it was the Chamber of Commerce buildings. It was the
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce building. They were like making a delivery of some suspicious thing, and Carl, thanks to his recently acquired mystical monocle, was able
Look like Mr.
to
Fucking Peanut.
was able to see that like that there was some strange aura coming off of it. So you all kind of investigated and uncovered that there was more than meets the eye to Joseph Grimsby. That
Transformers.
he and his attaché are
He was a
Decepticons.
Decepticon, one might
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were definitely doing some deceiving, but in terms of the fact that
Deception.
they were of the human variety, instead being a lizard person and a
Like our politicians.
like a deep one hybrid was his follower, and you have upon making that revelation, Carl went temporarily insane, stripped all his clothes off, went running, uh, s- speaking incoherently in Creole gibberish, screaming
I
at the
mean,
top of
it's
his
not
lungs.
Creole defending Carl's honor here. It's pure Appalachia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's its
Yeah,
own
I
language.
believe.
I thought you were, yeah. For some reason, I had in my head that
No,
you were from
he's
you're from
Pennsylvania Dutch.
Louisiana, Pennsylvania Dutch. Okay, so he was speaking Amish. He was speaking Amish is what he was. That's what he was doing. Basically, speaking like the Adamic language before the fall of Babel.
Yeah.
Is what
He was raised Pennsylvania Dutch, I might add, but he's a moonshiner and a runner now, so obviously he believes in not horse and buggies. Went on one
Yeah.
Rumspringa and he found life beyond.
You did come to your senses and were able to help dispel some of their illusory magic by throwing salt at them. And then the other two of you blew their fucking brains out.
Yep.
And didn't we light them on fire?
There was fire involved, yes. Yeah, you had a match. You luckily found them. You threw some type of accelerant, and I think
I
that's
think
what.
it was
Yeah, I think.
the moonshine
Yeah, that's right.
because I
Like,
was in Carl's truck.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you had gathered a jug of moonshine, and
Yeah.
that's what snapped Carl
Yes.
back to reality. Was taking stock of his shine in the back of his car. Noticed that there were two jugs missing, and that
That's
snack.
the good hooch.
Yeah, that was his personal stash. That's not for selling.
Yeah. That's my
Uh,
drive and hooch.
We've actually been working
If I don't
working on
got my drive
formulating.
and hooch, I can't do it.
it is driving hooch in that it fuels him and it fuels the car.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so fast.
Some E85 ethanol right there.
Yeah. Great corn. Yeah, so yeah, you were lucked out to find a matchbook in a stray pocket. Yeah, and you lit some of them on fire. Uh which yeah, I don't know that we ever fully addressed what do you do to the charred corpses that are probably still burning and potentially threatening to engulf the whole Chamber of Commerce in flames.
Let it fucking burn. It's Chamber of Commerce. Fucking elites with agendas. This no, good government body. Let that fucking shit burn.
Building burns, spreads to the next building, spreads to the next building because it's the 1930s.
Yeah,
There's
you're at a risk of burning down all of downtown if you let
Yeah.
it if
That's
you let
fair.
it if you let it go.
Carl, how much pee you got in you?
not enough.
Severely dehydrated.
Mm.
Mostly a syrup.
Coming out molasses.
I doubt this was of an era one that fire extinguishers I mean, maybe they existed. I don't know. I don't fucking remember. I don't know
doubt it.
that type of factoid. But
No,
they
there was no
definitely
factory regulations
I
yet.
say
There's no way.
it definitely wasn't at a time where they would have had one.
No, if there was anything of the time period, it would have been like the glass bulbs that you would throw and they would shatter. And it would be like a small, either like water bulb or it would be like a small chemical that would expand.
Fucking fire extinguisher
Polymer.
grenades.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
they still make them to this
No,
day,
I
but they're
know. I've
obviously
seen 'em.
far superior.
Yeah.
you guys had one thing to also remind you is that you had found some you were able to open the box of what
They were dropping off.
that they were dropping off, as well as you found some other kind of documentation in the back. But I don't think your rules were super good for the documents. All you found was like a blueprint.
Didn't we
That
go to the
looked like a
library or something? Or was that before
That was
we?
prior.
You
That
had
was
gone to the
prior.
library, yeah. That was all prior, yeah. But you had found like a blueprint for like a multi or for like a development project with that looked to be several floors, including like one underground. But it was named Lilac Grove. Um,
Didn't I had taken a newspaper clipping, and didn't that relate to something with these documents?
you had taken a newspaper clipping, and I don't exactly remember
There was a dude in it that was like running for re-election or
well,
something.
it was something about Senator Robin Jehoshaphat Brandon
Yeah, yeah,
and about like one of his first like campaigns
yes,
and something to do with like him weathering a certain scandal thanks to the support of some of these kind of larger kind of institutional figures,
got it.
including a one Alfred DuPont,
Mm,
the owner of the Evening Journal. Not the current. This was back when he was still in fine health. She is no longer. It is now run by his failed son Thaddeus.
great fail son name.
I tip my cap. Thank you. Uh, yeah. So we'll say like you're able to like you had like opened up the you had opened up the crate and you had found like these like silk and like kind of velvet trimmed robes and some other kind of ritual items that I believe occult rolls failed on those, but like you're able to like just kind of instinctively take one of them. It's the only thing really close at hand and kind of like uh smother the flames. Can I get a spot hidden roll?
Nice. Okay, I could do that. 2 zeros and a 7. What is that? 7?
That's probably an extreme success. Yeah, that's a 7.
Yeah, it is an extreme success.
Okay, that some whether or not you're the one who's putting the flames out, like you take a special interest in the robe after the fact, and it's like not charred or affected by the fire at all.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna point it out to Carl and uh Andrew. What's your guy's name?
Mick.
Nick.
Mickey.
Hey Mickey. Hey Carl. Come check this out.
Mickey
It ain't
Mick.
chod. I've made Gunther Leahy a little Italian New Yorker.
So he's doing the Tom Hardy thing throughout
Yeah, yeah.
this whole adventure. He's changing accents on a dime.
We are professionals. We take our craft seriously. Our characters are coherent and
Oh,
fluent throughout.
a quick pause. Like I've been really proud of myself. I built a character for my. I get to be a player in a D&D game now,
Mhm.
and I built my character around like the Discord mod idea of like the
Oh
uh
no.
while you were getting laid, I studied the blade type of thing. Like I'm like a two weapon fighter. I got like a katana, whatever. But he speaks with the wisp, so it's like it's an easy way to do an accent. It's like it's like greetings, my fellow adventurers. You know, so it's like super easy to fall into
I was
character that
expecting you to
way.
go the route of like, hello, my Discord kitten.
Like he does do kind of stuff like that, but yeah, no, it's just like he speaks with the wisp.
Oh,
And
milady, excuse me.
indubitably.
All right, I just pointed out that it's not charred to you too.
Hmm.
Use my fucking driving hoot.
Interesting.
They only
Carl, it
used
was necessary.
they only used one of the. They probably
Yeah.
took like two. They only used one of the jugs.
I got
One of
another
them
one
still
right
in the
here.
hands. I snatch that jug out of your hands with the steel, like a fucking cobra.
Cobra strike,
Cobra
and
strike.
you immediately do the stick your thumb in it, hook it around, and do the.
Oh,
Take
oh,
a deep pull.
oh. Can't be
All
taking
right.
a man's driving hooch.
Won't be
There's
happening
perfectly
again,
bad
Carl.
hooch in the back of the truck that you can use for burning shit. That's the fuel. But driving hooch is special. That's why it's got 3 X's on the jug.
Carl, make a first aid check with a bonus die. I think Carl might still be naked.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that's a big old failure.
Never mind then. Carl may have like one sock halfway on or off, and that's probably about it. That's
That's
You
left.
think
perfect.
Carl wears socks?
I was saying, and I was gonna say the socks are like mostly holes. He's had the same pair of socks for the last 2 years.
Last decade.
They were a gift from Pappy.
Yeah.
He inherited them. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Pappy's good still in socks.
Okay, so yeah,
How you guys
What
reacting?
it's pretty late, right? At night.
it's getting it's like end of business day. Mick, I think
Yeah.
you had like a slight engagement, or you had a desire because you would like talk to the police.
cops,
You went to
yeah.
the police station, and they basically
Yes, I did.
they basically deputized you to go
They
knock
hired me.
heads at the
Yeah.
there's going to be a union rally tonight. Like it's also being held downtown at the union office, or like out back of the union office. It's like not on like the same street, the main street. It's on the far edge of the main part of town. It's the only place they could get an office. So like that's the
Yeah,
only
so I
thing
want
going
to
on.
head there after.
Okay, so like you guys can kind of patch yourself up and find most of Carl's clothes.
I'm gonna take the unburned cloak and under my breath say, Pappy had this, he would have survived.
Do we know about his monocle? I forget. Do we know like the
Well, he's wearing a monocle.
No,
You
I
see
know
that.
he's wearing but like do we know the
I don't think
Do
so.
we know that do you know that I can see JoJo auras? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless he has explained it, no.
No, I couldn't remember if he had.
It's gonna be a very incoherent thing for this character to try to explain.
I remember he like said I think he did say it to me when we went into the or to someone and he was
He
just
was
like
the only one who went into the shop where he got it.
yeah, no, not there. When we went into or we were like in the Chamber of Commerce, I remember him saying like I'm gonna tell you something and you just gotta believe me. I could see things that other people can't see.
If he did, I'm imagining that if he said it, and if he said it like that, you would have just chalked it up to a Carl delusion.
Yeah, I mean, but then it
Yeah,
was
because that's
right.
I take that in character as like that is how he would describe it. He wouldn't even
Yeah.
he wouldn't even say it's because of the monocle. It'd just be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
No, I
like
think he said it was a special monocle.
I can
But
I
like,
can see
No,
I can
I
see into
definitely
the
would
I
have
can see into
just
the
generalized
beyond.
and yeah.
I think
That's just the hooch.
I think my grandmommy had the same gift. She had the sight.
yeah, so,
Uh,
What I'm getting at is Carl is the Queezax Hatterack.
Carl can shine.
Oh my.
Um. Okay, so yeah, I think you guys had actually pretty much gone everywhere else of interest
Mm-hmm.
in, at least that you
To the
could
Union
in the
rally?
time. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically
that's
it's
the last thing I think.
like by like kind of the only evidence left now, because like after you kind of put the fire out of the bodies, they just kind of crumble into dust. So
Yeah,
like
someone's
all
just gonna find the remnants of something being on fire
it's
there.
like all you
From
see
ashes to
all
ashes,
you
dust
see
to
like
dust.
are like vaguely humanoid outlines, in
Yeah.
Ash.
the funny outline position, just like a vaguely kind of charred remain. So there's no real
Before we
evidence.
leave, I'll like do a quick like pentagram smear on the floor.
Does
Just
Carl
to, just to,
know what a pentagram is?
I mean, Carl would have definitely been raised a religious man.
For
He would
sure.
definitely
He
know
was
the
Pennsylvania
sign of the
Dutch.
devil.
He
This is
knows.
just a
Yeah,
way to
yeah,
get
yeah.
people
He
off
knows.
the trail of anyone else and put
We
them onto
know
Satanists, burning
the
people in the
the
Chamber of
mark of the beast.
Commerce.
Make
Yeah.
an occult roll uh with a bonus die then.
Not gonna pass this.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have a good
Yeah.
occult score.
I don't think so either.
0-0 would be
Yeah.
a 0 first, right?
Correct.
Yep.
And then so 0-0-1 is a 1.
That's an extreme success regardless. Yeah.
Nice.
I was
Oh,
gonna say
yeah.
if he failed, he was gonna draw a pentagon instead of a pentagram.
So
So
I
yeah,
get a
you
1 in 5 there.
Yeah, so absolutely
planning
again,
planning
make sure
9/11 in its
make
early
sure you
stages.
mark that as a success on your sheet so you can improve that later,
Mark that on my digital feed.
because that's a good one. That's definitely one that you want to improve. And will be super easy to improve too because it starts so low.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Yeah, you've got a 95% chance to improve that. Okay. Okay, so you've taken the cloak too.
Yeah, Carl has it.
Carl has the cloak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Pappy would have survived if he wore it.
Okay, so make like a note on yourself somewhere. Like you don't know this, but like I don't have somewhere that's like convenient for me to write it, to remember that like you have essentially like resistance. If you wear it, you'll have resistance to like magical effects. So basically, like if there's like ever like an opposed roll or something, a lot of times magic spells have like opposed power rolls, like you would have a bonus die.
You should be wearing it, Carl, because you're naked otherwise.
So like I would say
Well,
maybe
well thought.
in the time in between, like because it's the rally's not really starting yet.
Yeah,
So like
I was gonna.
Where would Carl get
How
clothes?
long do we have
no, it's that
until the rally?
he could find most of his
Those
clothes.
are gone by
He
now.
could find his
Those are
overalls
gone. Some
probably.
other hobo has
You're
put them
not
in a
in
bin now.
the bum area of town. Like
Okay,
you're in
fair.
like the center of town where there are
Yeah.
there's like heavy police
If and
presence.
yeah,
They
no,
don't let
fair.
no drifters.
Do I have
It,
enough time to
and
run to my
if
one
you're
of my
not from town and you don't have proof of employment, they beat you and and throw you in jail. You know,
As they should.
do I have time
that's
before
their
the Union
mandate.
rally to go to one of my hidey holes and pick up a jug or two?
Do you take either of them with you? I mean, or else
They can come with me. I'm literally
I'll
just going
join.
to hook up and grab. I'll just never use this hidey hole ever again. I'll just empty it right now.
But here's the thing, yeah, these hidey holes like had like a good portion of the liquor that you were intending to sell to the senator's party. So like
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah.
booze in
Yeah,
there.
He's got a
that'll
truck.
that'll be gone by the end of the senator's party stuff. I'm just going to pick up a jug or two right now. I didn't say I was going to empty it right now.
Oh, I thought you
I'll
said you
empty
were
it at some point.
Okay. All right. So yeah, where is this hidey hole?
It's going to be on the outskirts of town. Uh, it's going to be like I'm just trying to picture fucking Delaware right now. Good
Uh-huh.
God. I assume that town might have like a tree line or something.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. In the tree line, there's just a fucking like ditch with a shitty wooden like plank hat above it.
I'm assuming you all because also Delaware that you probably have one like hidden underneath the boardwalk.
Yeah. But no, I just want to pick up a couple jugs so that I have some bribery ability at the Union rally.
Okay. Cool.
And
Okay.
because y'all burned one of my hooch.
It was necessary, Carl.
Okay.
You didn't want barbecue lizard?
I
Anything
mean, I eat
else?
gator. You ever had
Anyth-
Pennsylvania gator?
Yeah. Pennsylvania gator. The armadillo.
No, it's just a black.
No, they don't
person.
exist in Pennsylvania either.
Pennsylvania gator would be like some shitty like lizard that they.
Yeah. A salamander.
Yeah. Getting all sorts of belly worms from some type of inedible parasite ridden.
Nah, Pennsylvania gator would
Reptile.
just be fucking raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. That's it.
Every
That's it.
every single thing that would be like, oh, that's Pennsylvania chicken. That's just raccoon.
Yeah.
Raccoon.
No, that's perfect.
Or
You
squirrel.
nailed it.
Okay, so you guys head up, it's now, after dark, it's time for the union meeting. You guys are granted access. You're all known quantities at this point. And you
Is
see
Mick
like
wearing his sheriff's badge?
I don't know, is he?
No.
His deputies. Yeah, definitely has the Billy Club, probably up his sleeve.
That I do.
The truncheon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, the
seriously,
badge is off.
like, so long as you're Irish, they'll give you a badge and a Billy Club and just
Mhm.
send you out. You're a fully
Yep.
deputized police officer of
It's a
the law.
God-given
that's-
right.
Yeah.
It's the natural progression of American immigration policy. Once you've become
Yes.
the downtrodden one, you get in. You like now I get to downtrod on the next one.
And my own people.
Well, that's just because no one hates the Irish more than the Irish, especially if they're North Irish.
Okay, let me just quickly adjusting this. Okay. All right. So people are like kind of just milling about, kind of chatting amongst themselves. There's like some of like the working groups have kind of self-segregated and are just kind of like talking about and debating obscure theory, and other folk are just, there for like the free drink and
Praxis.
and appetizers, and like, it
And
runs
some
the
are
gamut.
there to sow chaos and are not there with good intentions and
Yeah.
in bad faith.
Yeah, yeah, there are definitely underground chaos agents. Definitely some among you. Uh, so what do you guys do while people are just like mingling? Anything at all, or do you just
I'm
kind of
gonna
like
start. I'm gonna start talking about the lizard people.
Do we know about the lizards? Or was Carl
Anyone's
able to see
Yeah,
it?
no, you guys saw it because, and you guys definitely, that's how you took sanity
Okay.
damage, is because Carl threw salt at them. And
Got it. Got it. I remember.
It disrupted their illusion.
Saw their real
magic.
form.
Got it.
I used the patented salt splash technique of Reagan Arataka.
Well, so then
No,
we do know
I'm
that his
shouting
monocle
about
is
the lizard
magical,
people.
or that Carl could see things.
I mean, so I was gonna ask, has no one questioned me on the way in with my monocle, right? They were like, "Whoa, Carl, you changed. You got a monocle now. Like
You
you're
are
clearly wearing a wire."
Moving on up.
no, because you are the one that's like, I mean, you're already viewed with suspicion by most of them. Uh by those who do know you, but like, the ones at the door were, told to
All right, cool. I just
let
wanted to
you
make sure I
in.
was still wearing my monocle. Anyone like glowing with my monocle?
Make a spot hidden roll.
In the meantime, I'm telling
So
everyone they're turning frogs gay. Lizard
middle
people
success.
run the world.
Yeah, you're just going up to everybody, just like, have you heard about this new invention called Flow Ride?
Yes. Yes.
Have you
Warning them
heard
of
of?
the ills.
I'm telling you, they're trying to turn us into
The
Australia.
elites.
They're all trying to make us into ray gun.
Dude, that shit is embarrassing. Uh, what did you say was a success, Carl?
Middle success.
Okay.
The second tier.
Um, kind of scattered about. There's like maybe like three people, uh, three people who are like trying their best to like kind of blend in, not make a splash, not make any noise. So, like they're not like taking part in conversations at most,
They're
like
hello fellow kidsing.
kind of, but it's like they, from their outward appearance, they seem fine and normal. And there are plenty of other people who kind of do similarly, who are either some are just already sitting in like
Some are
the
just
fold the
neurodivergent
folding chairs.
and don't know how
And
to
it's the
talk to
30s.
people.
I mean, at that point, they would have already been lobotomized.
Yeah, so like there's like from outward appearance, no, but like they're all everyone here is like human. You don't see any like illusions or anything like that, but you do notice like there are a couple people like in various kind of areas that they have some of them it's like up their sleeve, some of them it's like tucked kind of like behind their back in like the small of their back. They have like there's like a faint kind of kind of aura that you detect. And you got you say you had a middle success, like just a
Yeah.
regular success.
Yeah.
Um let me see. Okay. You do see that oh yeah, so that's it. That's it, actually. That's it.
All right. Just want to make sure there weren't no lizard people.
No lizard people, but yeah, there's a few figures who seem suspicious in that. Eventually, like yeah, you're talking to Mick is just talking about frogs and frog people and the frogs and reptiles turning gay and they're trying to
Yep.
brainwash your kids with crisis
There's.
actors and
I'm assuming are they also Satanists who burn people in the Chamber of Commerce?
spreading
Of
lies and
course.
misinformation. Make a charm, fast talk, whatever is your social skill of choice.
Persuasion.
Yeah, but make it with
Pers-
a penalty die,
persuasion.
because make it with a penalty die, just
Because you're
because
spouting crazy shit.
it's just so out there. Yeah,
Which
you're just
one?
going
I
right
just,
at people.
which is just re-rolling them, right?
No, so it's you roll a second.
It's
You
just
t-
the
you
lower
roll
of two rolls,
a
right?
second. So technically the higher of the roll, but you roll a second one of the double digit
Right.
the double
Double
digit
digit. Okay.
tens die, and you take the worst roll.
Uh, uh, just a very regular success.
Okay, you find a couple people who are, not everybody, but like, most people just kind of laugh you off. But you do find a couple, fellow travelers, conspiracy heads
Probed
in there.
me. I was
Uh,
abducted.
There's definitely probably one
I'm
of
gonna
them. Yeah, there's probably a a UFO
I
head
want to
up there.
express my fear that the Union may also be led by lizards, and we don't know who we should support.
You ever
To my
actually
fellow believers.
with retrospect, sorry, you ever look back at that and thought all those people were like, "Yo, I've been abducted." They were just taken by the government, weren't they? They were just
Sure.
like experimented on by like a government body for like
have you never
24
watched
hours.
X-Files? Have you never watched X-Files?
No, I don't believe.
You don't want to believe. You're happy living in ignorance, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like, yeah, there are aliens out there, but most of that shit is the government doing it.
Believe
Probing
in
people
Gillian
under
Anderson.
penis.
So yeah, like this person, is person that you've talked to is like, like, well, it's always healthy to, approach everything with a bit of suspicion, but well, I may have some ideological differences with Gustav Kraplotskin, the current boss, like he's basically like he's recently uh he's been recently on the rise of like he's the head of which union? He's the actual head of one of the he's the head of the construction worker union, but like he's like been further on the rise with like this kind of coming together of the different unions in town to come together. Like he's kind of been given a even greater leadership role in dealing with strategy and being kind of the public face of this kind of coalition. Um, but yeah, it says that Gus has got he's got our best interest in heart. He hasn't led us wrong yet. Although if he can't if he can't come up with a countermeasure, or he he does have a few some doubts in the fact that that he can't protect their members, right? Because there's those who have gone missing, and that is
Maybe
a black stain on his otherwise pretty solid record. So yeah, he agrees with you that it's good to be skeptical.
okay. I'm gonna say like maybe we want to be on the side of the lizard people though.
You're
Seems
trying to
like they're in control.
you're trying to convince him to switch sides to be like see
Yeah.
which way the wind's blowing. That you're
Yeah.
subversive. Okay. Make another persuasion roll with still with 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 a penalty die.
I got it again.
Just a
Got
regular
it. Success. The regular. Yeah, just regular.
Okay. Let's see. What is his
My
what?
persuasion is high.
Hold on. So you have a regular success. He has, let's see. So be opposing by his like psychology, or there's no insight. Um so that's relatively low. So a regular success, would be all you need. He's like, like, well, you make some good points, but I'm willing to, is you've given him a lot to think about, basically. He's like,
Okay.
he's
I'm just talking. These are just ideas.
and that's we need. It's like, what, we need more people like you. Like whenever I try to get union resources to go stake out like the cow pastures past midnight on a full moon, to see if the the beast men come out to feed. I always get laughed at. And
Carl briefly overhears the beastmen come out to feed part. He's just like, that ain't no beast man. That's the people of the mountain. They're coming out and then they got to find the cows. Sometimes you just gotta eat. Sometimes you gotta cook. Gotta eat it.
he's just like kind of like nods sagely and just turns back to Mick, just like ignoring Carl. This is kind of unintelligible.
Yeah.
And he's like, giving me a lot to think about here. Again, we need more open-minded people.
Free thinkers.
Yeah, like the ideological purity that a lot of these so-called revolutionaries seem to espouse, gets in the way of true progress. We need a middle
Rethink.
path.
Certainly seems that way sometimes.
All right, so you found a temporary ally, um,
Cool.
who is otherwise basically ostracized from the rest of the group. He is a member of the.
It's a wonder why he's so easy to befriend.
He works for the paper millers, the lumber and paper millers union.
Powerful union to have on your side.
It's one of the smaller ones here in town, but they have
What they lack in size, they make up for in muscle.
they supply obviously the newspaper with all their goods and stuff. That's their main antagonist. And like, yeah, he tries this guy like, yeah, I've tried I've tried getting the DuPonts to run some of my stories. Like I submit, he submits stories all the time to try to get run in what's it called, the Evening Journal. Constantly getting rejected. But one of these days, and that's you gather that's his main gripe with the bosses, with the bosses in the newspaper, is, and why he joined the union, why he signed his union card, is because he doesn't like that the bosses ignore his theories and his stories. So he's kind of petty.
Okay.
Sometimes you need a single issue revolutionary.
We should definitely spread the word.
So that you guys, chatting, mingling, taking keeping
There's
an eye on
a
everybody.
booze here, right?
There is there openly, no, there is not.
People have drinks.
There are some people who have like flasks of their own, who brought their own, BYOB. There is no.
I was seeing if there was like a catered provider who I was about to go taste their product and then make a display out of how awful it is.
It is distinctly non-alcoholic punch being
served. I was preparing. Oh, it's not alcoholic punch. Well, I can fix that.
Say, do you spike the punch bowl?
Yes.
There's only
make a stealth check.
There's only medical who cheer.
You only need a regular success because it's kind of so crowded. It's a lot of people stuffed into like a not very big space.
Just barely a regular success.
Okay, so you pour
58-60.
You pour the contents of one of your bottles.
One of your
jugs surreptitiously into the punch bowl. Gets people's, you got some loose lips party now. Some wet whistles.
So I'm just chilling like on the wall at this point.
You're doing the nobody knows that I'm nobody knows.
And I got like my hat down and I'm watching, do I see Carl do this?
Make a spot hidden check. And what was your stealth roll?
58.
Is that a
Gotta
regular
beat that.
success for you?
Yes, 60 is my regular.
So you need an extreme success, or a hard, not an extreme. You need a hard success. So that's the half. You need a half or better.
What's 0 and 10?
100.
100?
Yeah,
So-
that's bad. That's a
Yeah.
fumble. That's a fumble.
Super fail.
That's a fumble.
You're too engrossed in how cool you look leaning on the wall.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So you notice that it's all men here with the exception of one very butch
Well, yeah.
woman.
There's no dames who work in the industry.
There's
Yeah.
very one butch woman who thinks that you are ogling her,
Mm,
and she punches you.
nice.
You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Reap.
What union does she work for? Just so I know which one we just alienated.
Let's see.
Do I see the union boss?
She's wearing a Teamster jacket.
Do I see what's his name? The guy, the labor leader essentially. Is he here?
Yeah, so he makes his entrance with a couple of the other organizers, and so some of the folks that you've met already, the Zachariah and Vito, the big muscle. They make their entrance. He does his, Gus does his glad handing. Um, he he does come over to you at one point and shakes your hand and like brings you in, and basically in a under his breath voice says like basically that like once the speech is done he wants an update on what you've
Okay.
found. But do you say anything to him, or
I'm just gonna say one word: lizards.
Yes.
it's so is this-
That's still better than update these nuts, but
make a psychology roll.
you say wizards to him and he's just like shit, he knows.
Fail. Damn.
Okay, yeah, you don't know if he makes any recognition or not. He's just he's doing the glad handing, the back slapping, he's making the rounds. And then so once they're making their procession, and like folks are like some trying to get their second with him, trying to make a pitch for some other proposal or something. But he's just kind of moving along. But people are starting to like come in from the edges of the room, and like people are starting to take. There are a few organizers serving as like ushers and whatnot who are like getting people to take their seats. So where do you guys try and sit? Front, back, middle?
Back.
I'm
Yeah, I
front
wanna-
row, baby.
I wanna be in the back. I'm observing. I'm looking for signs of any reptilian behavior.
So Carl tries to go to the front. Does anybody stop him?
Nope.
Nope.
Just let it happen.
All right, Carl, you're
Stopping it would only make it worse.
Yeah, you're sitting front row and center.
I need to be like cognizant of this speech. The farther away I am, I'm not gonna be paying attention. Carl knows he's got attention deficit disorder.
All right, so Gus gets up on the stage, and he's got one of those microphones. Trying to think, how do you describe it? It's like the kind of like the wire microphone. It's the circle. It's got a
Yeah,
big
the
circle.
the,
halo.
the old timey
With the
like fight
halo.
microphone from like boxing.
Yeah.
In this corner.
So he like goes up to one of those, and there are a couple speakers on the walls, and the he once he takes the stage, there's like a pretty generous round of applause. But he has everybody takes their seat. And he just starts with welcome, brothers. But then before you can continue, some like kind of pipsqueak from one of those like nerd working groups in the back pops up and goes, and sisters. And the Gus like looks around and sees that one female teamster. And he goes, apologies, Janice. Welcome, brothers and sisters. And then the same guy, the same guy goes, don't forget all the child textile laborers. Uh,
An uproar.
the
So many voices.
Gus just like kind of goes, honestly, Wayne, do you see any kids here at the meeting?
Yeah, they're all still working.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne looks like he's about to say something, but like immediately gets dogpiled by those that are around him and gets him to shut up. Gus continues, we recognize you're all taking a great risk just being here tonight, so I commend you for your commitment to solidarity with your fellow workers, especially those sorry few who can't be here with us. He takes off his cap and and asks for like a moment of silence. He continues the speech. It goes into like kind of like just your kind of general kind of he's railing against the bosses, getting the crowd fired up and worked up over the current issues and the failed contract negotiations. But it all comes to a head, culminating in a call for a general strike, which gets a lot of people really it gets the room like
Gets the people going.
you feel the tension in the room rise, both from those who like are excited about the idea as well as those who are made really nervous by it. The speech continues and he says, we know the bosses have something big planned. While they threaten and disappear us when we exercise our right to collective bargaining, they gather together to conspire against us, to leverage their control of capital to further their own selfish ends. The booze and curses and all sorts of stuff. Again, he's hitting all the high notes. The continues. They have yet to make their plans public, but suffice it to say, they will mean more pain and suffering for you and your families. What we do know is that the bosses have the ears of our political ruling class. In fact, we have it on good authority that Senator Brandon intends to throw his legislative support behind these bosses. To show our opposition to this blatant collusion, we are calling for volunteers. It's our plan to form a picket line outside his birthday fundraising event tomorrow night, and get our that's being held at the Masonic Lodge. You get some boos and curses from the guy that you befriended. It's like that the Masons are here to corrupt our our women and children. That we need to get our faces in front of the press. Let them try to silence us while the cameras flash. Let us shame them into submission. Solidarity and glory to the workers. There's a big uproar. Speech ends, but just as it does, the double doors behind you burst open, and a host of, I actually don't know what they would wear. They're not cops, but they are
They're
well
they're
dressed,
the
Pinkertons.
well dressed, thuggish looking people who
no,
are.
they're the Red Angels or whatever they're called in New York. Fuck, why can't I think of their names? They wear the all red suits.
They are the Pinkertons, but I don't think I don't know that they
Can't think of
wear
their name.
anything that super distinguishes them for what they are. But yeah, they are. They're the meeting is being raided by the Pinkertons. Chaos ensues. What is your everybody's reaction before we like kind of essentially roll for initiative to see what you guys
I
do?
mean, I'm looking to Mick because I'm like, these are your people. Get this under control.
Activists are getting beaten, arrested, thrown to the ground. Gus is being
Have your
rushed
badge on.
is being rushed back behind the stage.
They all look like lizards to me.
The majority, the rank and file of the regular guys from the Pinkertons, no, they don't. Make a spot hidden roll because again, it's even more chaotic now. As the crowds kind of intermix and as people are trying to run and escape through back entrances, front entrances, side
Secret
exits.
hatches.
Failure.
Is there a leader guy who I can like approach with my badge?
There is a leader guy. What is his name and description? Okay. Yes. There is a guy
Yeah, I'd
there that
like to approach him with my badge and be like,
that
"Yo,
recognizes you and you recognize him. It is
okay,
Ewan Derwish, the head of the Maryland office of the Pinkertons.
amazing."
But is it good that he
I'm gonna
recognizes
go
you?
up.
I was about to say, is this like longtime rival?
He's like
Is this your Gary to Ash Ketchum?
he's like, Mick, what the fuck are you doing here? I thought
Oh.
I thought I was clear when I spoke to you on the phone. That you are suspended from duty, that you are not to be involved in the goings on down here. He like tries to sniff your breath. Did you have a cup of the punch? Did you have a cup of the punch?
Of course,
Okay, so you're officially off the
I
wagon.
always drink punch.
It's that you're officially off the
Yeah, yeah.
wagon. It's like, have you been drinking again, Mick? God damn it! What did the company doctor tell you? Your liver is already pickled.
Company doctor said anything more than 6 drinks a day is too little.
Cirrhosis has never stopped a Mick before. Listen, Chief, I'm undercover. There's lizards in
Say for
charge.
who? You're on administrative leave.
This is self-assigned.
Firing your weapon.
Assigned. I self-assign myself this role, sir, and I'm telling you, lizards are in control of the country.
He's like, Mick, you're a drunk and now it is a you're a drunk and now you're spouting off nonsense. Make a psychology roll. Make a psychology roll.
Okay. Pass.
He doesn't look like, or he looks
Regular,
like
just a regular one.
deflecting. When he says, when you say lizards, he doesn't like show even surprise or like that, like this is weird.
I'm
that
getting
you're
beat up
saying
right
this,
now,
or,
right?
yeah, probably. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to.
Interesting.
Yeah, actually, it's not really worth
Initiativing because
Yeah,
he's probably
we're not gonna do that. We'll do some rolls and stuff instead to see what happens. But yeah.
Okay, and then I'm like, so I see that, and I'm just like, listen, I'll get out of your hair. Just let me leave, and I'm gonna try to skedaddle.
You do. What's Gunther doing? Because yeah, Carl is definitely getting trust. Like he's definitely got two Pinkertons holding him, holding their two arms, and they're just
Taking gut shots.
They're just playing into him.
I'm still on the wall, but I feel like I'm big enough compared to the Pinkertons that I could just be like holding them by the head, while they're trying to wail.
Make
Aren't you like 17?
No, I'm a full
no,
adult.
no, he's the only adult that works in the
Oh,
In the
right,
textile
right.
mill, or in the
Right.
yeah, textile mill.
He's like a 45-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Make a brawl roll. You need a hard success.
Are you a big boy?
Yeah. It's not a success.
Okay, so your large size is incredibly intimidating to them. So they have guns drawn on you instead.
Nice.
Say
Alright.
who brought this
I'm also-
Mongol?
I'm gonna
Say who
ask-
brought this submental mongoloid here? You know,
Can I pull out
I'm
my
gonna also
Derringer?
I'm gonna also
do you
point
want
to
to
my
get into
boys
a
and be
gun?
like,
Do you
I
want to
need
get into a
them.
gun battle?
Let me think. Let me think.
There are
No,
four
what you do is
Pinkertons
to get
with snub nose revolvers like pointed directly at you.
to,
Point
Okay,
point
I
blank.
see this
to
happening.
throw them
and-
off. Pull the gun on yourself.
I swear to God, I'll do it.
Oh, that's so
My
good.
death will be on your hands.
Dude, they'll get a promotion.
I can I see this? Am I witnessing Mike start to get himself suicide by Pinkerton?
Yeah, you see Gunther is got guns drawn on him. Carl is just getting he's like they're just punching him. He's like puking up some corn liquor between
It's
punches.
very bloody. It's a lot of red.
All right.
It's just clear and then blood.
Yeah. Can
Not
I
actually taking damage though.
try and-
He's used to this at
Yeah.
this point.
This
That's
gets
part of
pain
moonshining.
from it.
I see
Can
the
I-
blood and
can
I'm
I
not
ask-
worried. That's normal. If it starts to turn black and yellow, that's when it's
Yeah, with the black bile has
Yeah.
has come up. Your humors are all fucked up.
I want to try
that's how
and
they do
get my
medicine.
friends out of here.
All right. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
You need yeah, a regular success will do it.
That is what is the middle one? Whatever that one is.
Just a regular
That's
success.
better than regular. So I got the regular.
Oh, a hard success?
Yeah, I got the
better
hard.
than half. Okay. Okay. They're like, so Derwish looks at you and is like, you're working with these degenerates, an inbred, say an inbred hick and yeah, submental moron. You're really
Work with what you can.
you've really outdone yourself this time, Mick. Like if it weren't for all your your dedicated years, for the company, I'd have you arrested myself. But God damn it, I've learned to
You were the
trust your
best
gut.
once.
I've learned to trust your gut. It's like so he sends a
I'm gonna
couple
burp and say thank you, sir.
Okay, so you get he sends a couple of his like lieutenants off to like diffuse the two situations, and they drag Carl's basically limp body out and toss him out into the street with you. Yeah, about like half of the
I need my hooch.
half of like the union people here have been like either beaten or arrested, thrown into the back of paddy wagons, and
Give a dog a bone.
They could have gotten so many more of those union people if they didn't have 4 dudes taking turns wailing on me.
yeah, exactly. Like they basically you served as cover for Gus to get out of there. They could have gotten the union boss, but instead they wanted to pick on you. It's just like there's just
It's just like
something so punchable.
way too punchable.
Yeah.
All the other dudes
Has that look
see
on
them
his
having fun,
face?
like, yo, can I get one? It's like the airplane scene.
Exactly. Yeah. Became a bonding ritual for them. Okay. So you guys make it out of there more or less in one piece.
Cool.
It's
Nice.
late at night. You guys gotta
I'm
like
glad-
go.
Gunther didn't get himself.
Did you say the
burned.
One Piece is real?
It is. You guys need to like go hole up somewhere for the night. So the senator's party is still scheduled for the next day, and as far as you know, that they're if you know Gus, he's not gonna let this stop him from organizing he's gonna use this as fodder to get more people
Rally
to
the
participate.
troops.
Yeah, to they are going to continue with their plan tomorrow. There are a couple, like, as you guys are kind of making your way out there, there are a couple more people from that you saw in there that no, I should have done a callback to that. Those people that you had spied earlier, Carl, were definitely undercover Pinkertons
Yeah, I
that
assume such.
that like when the doors broke open, they pulled out their billy clubs and were probably two of the ones that grabbed you by the arms and, and they've been scoping you out
They were like,
from
"What is
the
this redneck with a monocle? He thinks he's Mr. Peanut."
Yeah.
this one's the ringleader.
They saw your bare feet.
He's their benefactor. All right,
He's
so
bankrolling the organization.
there are a couple more people that they're just kind of that managed to slip through the dragnet. Anything else you guys want to do before, and then where do you guys want to try to hole up for the night?
I say we hole up in one of Carl's holes. Feel like that's our safest bet.
Bug hole?
I'm looking for a hotel or a motel or maybe a
Brothel.
house of ill repute. Refute or repute, right?
You were right the first time.
Yeah, I thought so.
You're asking a functionally illiterate person, so not going to be
And
able
a
to answer
lawyer. So I'm pretty next in line.
You were right the first time. There are not. Well, maybe there's a CD bar that operates something in the back house on the boardwalk. You've got to go out of the main bit of town. But yeah, you may be able to find
Okay.
a place. There definitely is a motel. Oh, yeah,
Is
there's
there any
probably
weapons stores open
All right,
right
we'll do-
now? I feel like we gotta arm up.
there's definitely not a weapons store that is open at this hour.
Okay. Even a back alley one?
You're not gonna find. Make a luck roll.
Delaware.
Arms dealer.
Make an
that. It's
extreme luck
Delaware
roll.
in the 20s.
You're not gonna find a back alley weapons dealer.
Fail.
You at most there's a hunting shop, somewhere.
Is it open?
No, not at this
Okay.
hour. It's
Yeah, we're talking midnight or later.
Yeah, it runs normal business hours. It's probably 10 p.m. or it's getting later past that. Which again, it's if you're out on the street.
I'm gonna go to the
this
motel.
hour, if you're not on the boardwalk and you're out at this hour, you are getting arrested. You are getting beaten and arrested by the police for violating vagrancy laws. But yeah, so there's a motel off the boardwalk. It's definitely near one of those seedy bars. But yeah, there's a
Sounds pretty good to me.
There's a pretty cheap motel. The beds have lots of stains on them. Wallpaper peeling off the walls.
I'm going with Carl.
Very, very thin walls. But a
Carl,
fully
where are we
paint.
sleeping tonight?
I mean, I was just going to go sleep in the woods.
I'm gonna join Carl. I don't want to spend any money.
You want to go? You're gonna go. I mean, you say
Yeah.
you can go camping. What that looks like is stretching a tarp across
His
some
truck in a tree.
some underbrush.
I mean, that's even extending it too far. I was thinking that Carl is the type of redneck who's gotten accustomed to just sleeping in a quote unquote tree stand, which is just sitting on a tree branch with your back on the tree.
Like a jungle cat, he just sleeps on a tree limb.
Yeah, drapes himself over the Y
Yeah.
of a.
All right, so Mick can hire the one of the women of the night, shall we say,
Yeah.
to a companion for the evening.
Mhm.
You now have low grade syphilis.
Okay. Okay.
um, but spent probably half your pocket money on on whores and booze. So
Okay. Okay.
but again,
Not a cheap lady, but
you're fully off the wagon again now. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, it's been fun. Having a good time.
Are you divorced, Mick?
Of course.
Okay. Just I
at the
assumed
very
just-
least, separated, extremely
We're
separated.
Yeah, no,
separated. Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
mean, we
say at the
don't
time
believe
period, divorce
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
going to happen.
we
Yeah.
don't believe
Especially
in
for an
He's
divorce.
Irish.
Catholic. Yeah, so he's Catholic.
Yeah.
So no.
But yeah, I don't beat my wife anymore, unfortunately.
There is an entire term developed for this exact thing called the Catholic divorce, the Irish divorce, where they're not actually divorced, but they don't live together anymore.
They've slept in separate beds for years.
Mhm.
Another
Yeah.
man's responsibility at this point.
Okay, so everybody except for, let's say, I definitely, Carl is good. You recover I'm pretty sure you just recover 1 hit point per day if you've taken any damage. um I'm trying to think if I'm trying to justify, like, Gunther definitely slept horribly.
Way too big to be sleeping out there like that.
Yeah, I don't know why you followed.
Because I didn't want to spend money at the whorehouse with Mick.
You might have a cold at this point.
Cold?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Mick will say does not regain any health points.
Yep, that sounds right.
You barely got any sleep.
Worth it. Worth it.
Mixed maximum health decreases.
Yeah, because of the syphilis.
Because of the syphilis, yeah. Or actually, no. What it should be is his sanity decreases. He's gonna
Yep,
go.
yep.
He's gonna dip further into syphilis,
syphilitic
become a
maniac.
syphilitic moron.
Yeah, moron.
How much do I lose on my sanity?
Let's roll a d6 and find out. You
Okay.
lose 3 sanity points, and
Okay.
that's from your maximum. That's from your maximum.
Oh,
sanity.
okay. Okay.
Not temporary.
Does it do both? Reduces both, right?
Particularly if it would dip into to what your pool is now. Yeah, it would take from your maximum until, I would say it takes from your maximum until it. So if you had like 60 out of 65 and you lost that many, then no, you'd stay at 60, but like your max would be 63. But
Okay.
okay, so you guys like have the whole day to figure out what you want to do before, and how you want to deal with, and what you may want to do at or around the big shindig tonight, which we can kind of just like, yeah, let me know if there's things you want to do, or we can just kind of, you've scoped out the lodge a little bit, but honestly not that in depth. So you can check out more of that, or just kind of gather yourselves until it's time to go to the party,
I
or
say
to try to get into the party.
Yeah, let's
You
plan on how we're getting in.
you supposedly have
Jobs.
a job as caterer, that they would give you a temp job as caterers for the party, supposedly.
I say we.
Go ahead.
I say we should go to the lodge.
scope it out.
See what's going on there.
Okay, so you go to the lodge, there's still some there's a decent level of security, although it's
You
probably
have
a
your
little bit
badge on, Mick?
it's probably a little bit more lax than it was the day before because they're riding high from the bus that they did the night before. And they've got some they have a bit the police presence is reduced. They had a reduction in manpower because a lot of them um they're dealing with the influx of inmates that they've got now in the local jail. So
There
it's a
was no
little bit
flummoxing about
processing.
the pentagram and the burned body marks.
as
No,
far
no
as
one
you
noticed
as
that.
far as you know, no one has made any notice or hubbub about that.
Sad.
Go to
I
the
wanted
Chamber
to
of
start a
Commerce.
satanic panic in the 20s. Bring back the modern witch trials.
But what else are you doing anything at the lodge? So you can see that they're bringing in they're starting to bring in you see there's a grocer comes and is dropping off some ingredients for food. Some staff is getting they're bringing in tables and chairs and decorations, including a a whole bunch of taxidermied animals, like large game that was
Interesting.
as part of
Um,
just the decoration.
Can we go in?
I've
How would you try to get in?
I suggest that Carl poses as one of the taxidermied animals with the cloak on him and just naked in a certain pose amongst the boars and bears that they're pulling in there and see if we could get him in.
Make a stealth check. Whoever is
Hilarious.
trying, yeah, whoever's investigating. There's a truck. There's a big kind of truck that they're bringing him in, but there's only one guy who's he's got to bring them in on a hand trolley, one at a time. So there's a pretty decent gap to go check out what's left in the truck.
Well, my stealth roll was just a pass. I
Okay.
just
Yeah,
it
so you've got
landed.
in the truck and yeah, there's a wild boar, a grizzly bear,
Are there any
uh
pelts?
an elk. No,
Or
but
is it just taxidermied things?
no, they're just taxidermy things, but you go and you're kind of make what would be an appropriate role? No. 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 No, none of that's actually very good.
Natural world?
I guess yeah, natural world is okay, but it's more it's not exactly what I'm looking for. Hmm. Honestly, spot hidden I think comes
Okay.
closest to what I'm looking for.
Normal pass.
Okay, particularly the bigger ones are actually multiple pieces
Nice.
and come
So
to get in turn and there's hollow space inside.
so we could put Carl in one.
Carl, do you agree to be stuffed inside a
Hmm.
taxidermied
I
animal?
mean,
You could drink in there.
I've been stuffing worse, I guess. I mean, it's gonna be fucking dark and shit. Whatever. You fucking put Boomhauer in there. You can do it by fucking.
Which animal do you stuff Carl into?
A bear.
All right, so
A
that's
bear.
pretty roomy for Carl.
Oh, okay. Let's put him in a boar.
Okay, yeah. So Carl, you climb into this wild boar. You've got two jugs, one for drinking, one for pissing.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Mm-hmm.
careful not to get them mixed up.
Yep, they're
Well, they
different
cycle
colors.
eventually. Once one empties, the other one becomes the new one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carl is, he's sealed up. What about the rest of you?
Fuck it, I'm going in a bear.
All right. And so Mick, do you just help close him up? And
Yeah, I'll help close him up, and I'll go in the shark. Why not? Why not?
okay, so you guys all get into the taxidermy and animal corpses, which is an option I had
Yeah.
had on my list here of how you guys get into the
Nice.
party. Okay, so you're stuck there for the whole day. Sweltering heat. You're going in and out of in and out of delirium, except for Carl.
Yep.
Carl's just like
Perfectly fine.
perfectly fine. Um,
Just picture Jim Carrey getting stuck in the rhino in Ace Ventura
Mhm.
2.
Mhm.
I want
Or Danny DeVito in the couch.
the couch.
Yep.
Yeah. Yo, because
Okay.
Carl's naked now.
I
Like
was
he's taking his clothes off.
at one point. I feel like Carl just like gets drunk enough to, or buzzed enough. I don't think Carl ever gets drunk anymore. That he does
No.
he does kind of start to whistle, mistakenly, and like somebody that's walking by, like kind of, like it's like what the fuck, but gets distracted and yeah. So you guys are holed up in the in these things, and they're like they make this kind of big display out of them. It's like meant to be like like the natural world kind of thing. It's just it's
Man's control over the natural world.
yes. So you're there until the party starts.
We can't get out at any point.
You could if you chose to.
I mean, can we like listen to hear if there's people around us at any point, and then
Well, you can like see, there's like you guys have like made like holes and stuff to like see out of, like
Okay.
so it's like you have
So-
you
I made sure that my eyes go where the bear's eyes are,
Yep.
so that I
You're in
can
a
be
boar.
like
You're in
an
a
old
boar.
scoop.
You're in a
Oh,
boar.
I'm in a boar. Sorry. But where the boar's eyes are, so I
Boar's
can be like a
eyes.
Scooby Doo cartoon.
Yep.
and no, it's like constantly busy. There's like people,
Okay.
workers, staff, wait staff, constantly busy getting set up till the last minute, until like the first guests start to arrive.
I've definitely shit in the bear.
Say it's starting to stink.
Yeah. No, I'm a big boy. There, there's a big one in there, without a doubt.
You know, the worst part is they're just gonna think it's bad taxidermy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, oh, they didn't like do the tanning process correctly. It's just decaying when it's just your shit.
Which is also decaying.
Okay, so there can I get a listen roll from you guys?
You can. It is a. It's only a hard.
Regular.
It's a
I thought
hard
I had a
success.
hard. I'm on the hard success, not below it.
I was 2 away from
Failure.
extreme.
All right, so yeah, Carl is just like, he's relaxing. This
Yeah.
is
He
after
doesn't have a
the
care in the world.
after the past few days, like this is luxury to him. So yeah, he's distracted. So yes,
Just looking out his monocle through the holes in the boar eyes.
so guests are starting to arrive. Like you catch glimpses as like the main doors open and close, that the picket line has started out front, and there are union people, like kept far enough back, but they're making enough of a ruckus, and they've got like some like kerosene torches and stuff, just like light their whole area, keep kind of trying to keep the focus on them, but like the guests are being kind of ushered in and out quickly to and you hear like, yeah,
Brandon, we won't hide. We will stop till we're unified.
That's pretty good.
stuff like, yeah, stuff chants like that, yeah, you hear going on. They yeah, so like the party's going for about an hour, until some of the higher, the more notable figures start coming in. Can I get a I think it'd probably be like, is there a history right somewhere? I'm pretty sure. Yes, there's history. Oh, it's more kind of like local history. Yeah, does anybody have any good history, a good history stat?
Nope. I have the regular one.
Not unless it's about my pappy.
Or the history of moonshine.
No, I have 5 is my history.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the standard.
there's the standard one. Okay. With your listen rolls, you probably like are able to gather some of the, and just from kind of looking around, you see stuff. So um there is a this one guy who you don't really know, but you hear him referred to as Mr. Hillary. This dude looks like what Carl thinks he looks like, because he also wears a monocle.
Nice.
You know, it's like he literally like looks like the Monopoly Man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like wearing like, you know, a
You can hear him
tuxedo.
before you see him because of how much harumphing he does.
Yeah. Um, you see another, yeah, a couple other guys that you don't really recognize, at least one that you don't really recognize. You see one guy who's got to be the chief of police, because he's wearing like, you know, the dress police uniform.
Who dress
And I'd
please?
say Mick absolutely knows the rank, you know, can tell the rank by just by looking at him. You know, by looking at the uniform. Then you see that there's this one kind of playboy looking guy who's got like two women on his arm. You know, he's got like the kind of the he's already kind of drunk, but in a kind of a
A
classier way. But
charming
he's got like the, you know, an open collar, the an
ascot.
ascot. Yeah, I was like, what's the name of that scarf looking thing? Yeah, an ascot. You know, very stylish, but like a young guy, but like, you know, obviously an important one. Um, you think this might be that fail son Thaddeus DuPont,
Mm.
because he's got people fawning over him for, you know, trying to suck up to him. You know, the DuPonts are one of the most important families in the area, still are. Um, oh, and then there's like towards the very end, oh, your friend and boss and mentor, Ewan Darwish is there.
That's
And
mix, right?
Mick,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's there. He makes an appearance.
There.
Yeah, he's riding on his high from last night.
There's like a very like yeah, one of the guys that you don't recognize is a like very prim and proper, like a very uptight, like literally has a stick up his ass, like kind of tall and very austere looking guy. And then, you know, they make their entrances. They're kind of seated at a table of honor, and then announced these people, the last people to arrive that are announced are the three political figureheads of the area. So there's the mayor of Wilmington, Taylor Belfry, Governor William D. Denny, and the man of honor himself, Senator Robin Jehoshaphat Brandon. Who, you know, is like, he comes in and he's like, you know,
Guy that
this
started Denny's.
Evil auras, lizards, things. Do I see them?
they except for the guy you saw, the except for the head of the Pinkertons, the chief of police, who's just a toady. Except for him, everybody is every one of those like significant people, um
Is a
Is a
lizard.
lizard.
Is a lizard person. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Not the senator though. Not
Oh, is
not
he a being from beyond?
not Senator Brandon, and not actually the mayor. Not the mayor. No, the mayor. Neither the mayor, but like all the other guys. Um, the governor is though. Um, but yeah, a lot of these other guys were like these bosses. A bunch of the bosses were lizard people. Um, there seems to be a bit of a hubbub about that. With your listen rolls, you hear like the two of the not like the super important guys, um, but Marshall Hillary, Thaddeus DuPont, and the one guy that you guys don't recognize because you have no role to recognize him. They are like they kind of like this is like just before like the guests of honor come in. Like they kind of are. The table of honor is like right in front of where you guys are displayed, like at the very back of the room. So you gotta have prime opportunity to overhear them. They are trying putting on brave faces and like not letting their concern show, but they are concerned that that Joseph Grimsby has gone missing. That
Yeah,
like
we
that
capped.
yeah,
Oh,
and they're like,
got it.
some
That's the textile guy.
yeah, and they're like, did you see like that some, whoever did it like tried to like paint some some churlish occult symbol on it and it was like not the another one butts in is like not to worry, we had that cleaned up and whatever that that's no one's gotten word of that. Uh Thaddeus DuPont is just like kind of he's like just he's had his two companions sit down um and is like having this discussion around him, but he's like the most kind of carefree. It's like
Yeah, because he's a fail son. What worries does he have?
it's like don't worry about it, it's like I'm sure it'll all be fine. Grimsby is a flamboyant man of his own nature. He's probably he's probably stuck in some some
Whorehouse.
s- some hash den in Soho, uh you know you know you know basically butt fondling some dilettante,
Yep.
like is basically it's like he's a rich guy, so he's allowed to be kind of queer and a little bit fruity, but
Well,
he's
yeah,
allowed
it's
to
not
do
gay.
that.
It's not gay when he does it. It's gay that they're letting him do it.
Yeah.
Different.
You're
uh
on
some of the other one,
opium. Nothing's gay.
yeah, Marshall Hillary disapproves of it, but yeah, Thaddeus is like, doesn't care. Um. So yeah, they're concerned, but then like they've got to cut that discussion short when uh the political figures come in, and like they all they turn to start like they're putting on the sycophant routine and clapping and uh and all that, and the
Dick
politicians are coming
riding.
in. They're again, yeah, they're doing their bit. They're all talking to people, shaking hands, all that kind of stuff. The the party gets into full swing, and they start drinking, start eating, food starts coming out. You notice that like the lead table where all like the people of honor sit, like their stakes that they're given are blood raw. That they're given a unique dish, but to cater to their specific and like they can't,
Cold-blooded tastes.
yeah, they can't even really hide their kind of animalistic qualities as they kind of scarf it down themselves.
I've shit 3 times. I'm a
uh,
big boy, and we've been here a long time.
you probably sweat out some good weight though.
Mhm. Yeah, I've down a good 10 pounds.
You're easily starting to get sepsis though on like your foot or something like that. If
Yeah,
there's
Starting
like
to
that's
get
where the
what?
shit's pooling.
Oh yeah.
Your legs are just covered in shit.
A trickle of diarrhea
I'm
down the
surprised
back
that
of his leg.
the people at the dais or whatever that were near could even eat with the smell.
They don't really smell like that. They taste more, because they're
True.
lizards.
Even worse, they're eating their raw meat, tasting my shit.
That's just flavor to them.
They think nothing of it.
All right, so the senator's going around. He's like talking to people, getting those who paid enough are given seats like closer to him and are like talking to him and like trying to get him to like agree. They're lobbying him basically. A whole bunch of people, and the rest of the bosses and whatnot, they're like, basically these plebes. They can pay all they want, but they don't truly
Never have
have
the access.
the ear of power. So the night goes on, drinks and more food and some dancing, some music. Eventually there's a demand that the senator give a speech, and he gets up. He gets up eventually and does his he's maybe a little bit tipsy himself, and gets up and is like, "Hey, how's everybody doing here? Have you ever guys heard have I ever told you the story about my best friend, Rice Pop? He was a good man. He used to show all the kids all the hairs on his legs. And man, I love just telling this anecdote. It's so personable. Makes me feel so alive and human. Uh, but the enough time for stories and all that. I thought I was free from having to hit the stump tonight, but that such is the life of being a career politician. Am I right? He starts laughing.
Yeah, a little bush laugh.
A little bit, yeah, yeah. It's gone a little bit off. But I guess that's politics for you. And boy, do we love doing some politicking. It's the best thing. That's what we're known here for in Delaware.
Politicking and LLCs.
But truly, gentlemen, thank you for all your generous show of support this evening. Your contributions to the campaign don't just mean a great deal to me, but a great deal to this fine state of ours and this glorious country we so humbly serve. He makes a noted look to the bosses and stuff behind him, and like thanks them for hosting the event tonight. These men here behind me are all men of great vision, captains of their industries, beacons of development and
Progress.
in progress for our times. Through their support, we will bring about a new financial revolution for this state. Once I'm reelected, you can count on me to support them in all their endeavors through passing the forward-thinking legislation. Makes another look at them. We intend to redesign our antiquated tax code to get Washington's greedy fingers out of your pockets so you can get back to what you do best, fostering the growth and innovation that is the lifeblood of our economy. I pledge to lift the cumbersome regulations that have served only to stymie growth here in Delaware. You will each have a significant role to play in preserving the strength of your respective industries. Folks, there's this bold new financial tools being theorized by the top minds of our financial institutions. They're calling it a credit card. I intend to fight tooth and claw. I'm sorry, I mean tooth and nail to make sure our little state is the epicenter of such wealth creation. There are those who may have to sacrifice to make these dreams a reality, but this is a risk I'm willing to accept. For the greater good calls upon us to submit ourselves to its will, to the march of history. Together we will meet this new age head on, and we will be the winners. just there's a bunch of applause and all that. To symbolize the ushering in of this bright, shining future, I will be joining the groundbreaking ceremony at the new Lilac Grove condominium and shopping complex in 2 days' time. I hope to see many of you there. Until then, thank you and good night. Can I get another occult roll from you guys?
Oh yeah. Come on, baby. Come on.
That was fast.
That's another one
Fail.
where I just have the standard.
I got a 100.
Oh,
Negatory.
Yeah, nothing for Carl either. Okay. No knowledge there. Okay, let me one thing here. Okay. I think that's actually going to be a good place to leave it for tonight.
oh, that sounds
Just
good.
making a note for the next time. You guys eventually are, after the party ends and you're wheeled out of the thing back into the truck, and one of like the cart boys who's pushing the stuff out, is like gagging at the smell. When they're doing the bear, it's like, what's sloshing around inside here?
Just a sludge.
But so you guys are able to leave them, but only once you've been closed up in the back of the truck.
Perfect.
And you're taken to a warehouse at the edge of town. And
Nice.
that is where we'll leave it. And make another note of that. All right, but that'll do it for us today. Thank you, boys and girls and non-binary pals, for listening. We will definitely finish next time. There's
Sweet.
only one more next time, so we will call it here. And then so you can be on the lookout for kind of regular scheduled programming for the rest of the month. We will, we're gonna hang up recording, probably go eat some lunch. It's about lunchtime here, and then Matt and I know we're gonna go do it. I don't know what your guys' schedule is, but we're gonna go suffer for you you crowd listener out there. We're gonna go see Borderlands today, so we can talk about that on the podcast next week. And then
I'm excited.
just because of the schedule, we will be off the week after, and then just news roundup.
Yep.
Till then, you can support us by following us on twitch.tv/campaign comrades. We'd love to see you there. And that's about it. Yeah. Thanks again. These investigators will, climb out of their piles of shit next time. Piss and shit everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's how every tabletop RPG session should finish.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, thanks again. We'll see you next time.